Aiconix.ai, an AI platform for media content where users can use best of the industry providers in a single place. They also have enriched data with their own development. The founder of Aiconix.ai, Mr. Eugen Gross, who is an Austrian but living in Germany for quite a long time, working on his dream project right now. He has many years of experience in the field of moving image production. So I reached out to him, requesting him for sharing his challenges, learnings, experience at Aiconix.ai as a founder, has his experience and expertise into cameraman and producer and production. He knows the challenges of challenges of the media industry. So he didn't insisted and he said yes. He said, I'll be happy to be part of the show. And he's here on this show to share his experience, which we had from the past years with Iconix. What were the challenges, all the learnings, all the experience, and he's ready to share with us. Also, Iconix is recently funded, so he's ready to share his funding experience and how did he get the funding and what were the challenges or what were the things which he made sure to get the funding. So I welcome Mr. Eugen Gross to the startup show presented by Amplis, and my name is Varun, and I'm the host for the day. So thank you, Mr. Eugene, for being a part of this startup show. Thank you so much for joining the podcasting series.
Thank you for the invitation. It's exciting to be here.
Thank you. So I had the conversation with Eugen through LinkedIn since I found out that their startup were featured in the Web Summit 2019. So I just wanted to particularly ask and reach out to him, like how was that? How was the experience at the Web Summit and all? And then I thought like this would be a really great topic to discuss on media content and media industry. So everyone has a different perspective. So let's hear it from Eugene, like what perspective he has, since he has an experience into media content for quite a long time. So, and he thought of something around it to create into a startup, which is Aiconix.ai. So let us directly dive into the conversation about what is it all about Aiconix.ai, how did it start off, and what actual existing problem he solved using Aiconix, and what is basically Aiconix.
Thank you for this introduction and for this very good research about me. I didn't know that you found so much.
I have to do my researches very well.
Very well done. Yeah. Well, my background is I'm a television guy. Okay. Started the film as a camera assistant, then I moved from Vienna to Hamburg, to Germany, first to Berlin. Became very early in the 90s a cameraman. Was a satellite technician doing this fancy stuff with these big dishes, doing live transmissions. Was working in OB van. I was a director at Red Bull and had my own production company. Okay. And in 2010, I was a hobby triathlete. I have a little injury and had a lot of time instead of continue working, and took the time to study media management and did my MBA. And during this time, it was all about data, about how to sell content. And I always missed a little bit about something. How can this data support the creators? How can we not only sell the stuff, how can we make better stuff? And this is my baby. Yeah? So I try to use data and I try to think how to use data to make better content. And I had a brief idea about AI. So I thought, why can't we use AI to analyze everything that happens in content? About, I speak about, who is the guy here in the picture? How is the editing frequency? Everything that we can change before a video is online and to engage the audience to. And I thought, okay, we have AI, we can measure that. And on the other side, we have analytics that show when the audience turns off. And if you always turn off when I appear in the frame, then, okay, this is a pattern. And we are looking for patterns like this. If we make a film, even if it's a 3, 4, 5 minute film, I want to understand, when do I lose the audience? And I watch these clips when there are 20% of the audience turning off in the same second. One person is in a subway, the train, the bus, the other one is at home. But they decide in the same second to turn off the video. So this is quite interesting because there's something wrong in the storytelling. And that's where I have to learn from. And I found out in my master thesis that this data is available, but not available for the creators. It is available for marketing and sales. Yes. They do a great job to bring 100,000 people to a video. Hopefully more than 100,000 are watching this one. Yeah? But if the content that people don't expect doesn't match, then they turn off. And that's what we don't want. We have to learn from the past and predict to the future. And that was the start when I said, okay, why can't we use AI to measure what do people like, and then see how can we predict patterns? Can we predict if this guy with the glasses in the frame is telling interesting stories for the audience? Or maybe we can measure that if this guy is talking about fashion, everybody turns off, but maybe people stay engaged if this guy talks about film and AI. So the idea behind Aiconix was born. We want to understand content and the audience and predict user behavior to make better content.
Okay. So yeah, so this is a product based company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a product based company, right? Product based startup.
Yes. No. It's a classical startup with a vision. And when we started to work, the first step was to find someone who is an expert in AI, and found my partner, Alexander. He's a neuroinformatics. He did a minor medicine and psychology. So he's the really clever one, but he is like there working. And he was also impressed about making better content. And that's how we started. That is the vision. That's what we're still working on. And the first step that we understood is how to use AI was to curate which AI systems are existing on the market and which one of these can we use for measuring content. And we found out that there are dozens of big providers, like all the big cloud providers, that have hundreds of features, but not always the same quality. For example, if you want to do speech to text in English or in German, you have to choose different providers. And what we started is we curate which is the best provider to get the best result. And the first product was born, our engine, written with an AI in the beginning. It's the engine, the engine of the whole company, and it's the engine that starts to create metadata from content. So my customers, photo agencies, they need picture analysis, face recognition to understand who is the person in the frame. Others are podcast providers, they need subtitles. News agencies, they want to index the videos to find it. So the use cases are several. What we always do with the platform is we provide the best metadata of the industry, because we know for your use case, which is the best provider giving you the metadata.
Okay. So, this all started how many years back?
Well, I finished my studies in 2016. Then I got a scholarship. I went here back to the Technical University in my age. Very exciting, very funny. Legally, the company was founded in April 2018. And then we got our first funding from an accelerator program, the Next Media Accelerator here in Germany. Then we got funding from the city of Hamburg for our neural lab, where we measure attention. And then we found 3 business angels. These gentlemen invested in our company, and now we are about to raise the new round. But I can tell you, this is very challenging.
Yeah. So I just want to understand this Aiconix a bit more like a layman's term. So if you can educate me by giving me some use case scenarios as a perspective of a media. Let's see, I'm a filmmaker, or I'm a podcaster, or video caster. So how in real time use cases I can use it, and how can I benefit from this? So can you educate me in a very layman's term, such that other people can understand in the use cases, like they can totally relate that, yes, I have certain requirements on this part, so this feature or this benefits me a lot. So what would be the probable use cases you can give me?
Let me switch to
the screen.
So now, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see the screen.
As a media company or as a video professional or even as a brand, you own dozens of hundreds of videos, millions of photos, and certainly to use them is really difficult. Now, AI can solve this problem, but which AI system is the best for you? And now we have a look into our platform, the engine, where we have all these media, all these providers of AI system in one place. For example, you need subtitles in the very best quality. Let's call this API key Varoon. Yeah, you need it. I can imagine you need it in English, and we have 4 different providers here. Usually, if you use one provider, let's pick this one, because this is the cheapest one, you receive raw results and you receive subtitles, but not in the accuracy that maybe you would like to. If you want the highest accuracy, you ask us to rate these providers and use best results. And what we do with best results is that we curate on every single word, which is has the highest accuracy to create subtitles. From this long file, it would take hours for you to type everything down. With the highest accuracy, you get 90–95% accuracy, nearly the perfect subtitle. You just have to edit it maybe for 10 minutes and then you're done. And this only for a few cents. I can show you the same here in the, let's store this key. Let's call it Varoon. And store this key and then go to the insights board where we have a front end to show what we are doing and how the results look like. I can show you that live. Let me pick a video. Okay, I pick a video from the English-speaking video and choose the API key that we just created, Varoon, and send it to analyze. What happens now is that the video is uploaded to our platform. Our platform is sending it to different providers, measuring which one is the best result. And we also always do check which provider is changing in the accuracy. If one of these providers is changing this algorithm and it's going 5% more accuracy next month, our algorithm already knows that. And this system we also use for video indexation. We also use it for face recognition, for content moderation, for all the features we do have. Let's have again a look at the configuration page where we can create a video. For every single feature that is there, if it's emotion in faces, face detection, face recognition, facial attributes, the categories, the keywords, the labels, for every single feature, we have several providers, and for every single feature, we do curate which is the most accurate one. So this is just metadata. It's just data. So it's useful. It helps you in your workflow. But the next step is that we created our own features. One of these own features is that one here, where we bring together several systems from text and video. I prepared a video, a text that I now upload. Sorry, it's in German because this is a German customer. But what the system does now, it semantically analyzes the video, and in the background, the whole archive is analyzed. So we know in the archive how many people, who is the person in the video, who are the original labels with the accuracy, which are the semantic topics, which country is it about? It's about Germany and China. What are the cities recognized? And let's have a see. And this is the analysis. What the system tells the journalist, nice article, we understand the topic, and there are already 3 different videos from the same topic in your archive. You don't have to search. We immediately present you. So the workflow is much faster. Let's go back to speech to text. It's still processing. It's about 50% of real time.
Just to ask a question. So basically, it helps to convert a video and helps to find the tags for it, and helps to convert the speech into text and convert into a transcripts based on what language you are looking for. And at the same time, it also helps us to find the metadata information, including what tags should we choose, what is the other tags and description, so that it helps us to generate more organic views or organic response for the video, if I'm right.
You're right. Let me have this example too, where we index a video to show you what is possible to extract out of video. Millions of data points that we have in there.
Yes. So just you can just to add to just have a conversation. So my question is like, so are we targeting, you have a particular target audience, like who is your customer who's going to use it? Is it like especially for European market, or are you looking for a worldwide, globally you're trying to launch it at initial stage right now?
Well, we start always with language. Language is the key to really search in videos, in audios, and that's why we start with language. And as we can see right now, we have 12 different languages in our system, and they are mainly European languages, as well as Brazilian Portuguese, Ukrainian, and Russian. But of course, we can do theoretically 80 languages. And we of course want to scale. The customer in Russia asked us, can you do Russian language? It took just one sprint, 2 weeks to add this language. So we can scale the language depending on which customer has a use case for us and is really needing something from us. So I would be happy to support Indian languages. I already spoke to C Entertainment. And we'll see how far we are coming. Well, with English is sure the international language where you can address immediately different markets, from the Philippines to the US, from Australia to Great Britain to the United Kingdom. But big markets like the Chinese market, the Arabic speaking market, are also very interesting for us. That's why we have been asked several times if we can do that. If we see now what is possible inside a video, how many labels can you extract out of that video? We can see there's a bar counter in second 27. There's maybe a drink in the second 6, and we can find the persons who are available there. Because me as a cameraman, as a producer, I don't want to search for a single shot I did 2 weeks ago. I want to press Control F. Where is this guy? This is Matthias Döpfner, the CEO of Axel Springer. I want to find where is the shot I did with him. What did he say? I remember how he was standing in front of a monument, and he was saying something about Berlin or Germany or Angela Merkel or whatever. This is not science fiction. It is the Swiss Army knife that everybody who works in the media industry should already use. What you ask about is my target audience. We address media companies owning a huge archive of media content, audio, video, text, or images. But who is not a media company anymore? I mean, in the 2020s, everybody is a media company. We have hospitals owning 2,000 tutorial videos. So this is not a classical media company, but they also have the same problem. They have too much content. They need to search, they need subtitles, and we are solving this problem. So let me have a look at that one. The file is already processed that we uploaded before. And as you can see, that different colors here. Blue means that our algorithm had to decide which is the most accurate word. And if we now play it, as you can see, the black words are all 100% accuracy. The green word is just small and big letters. And the blue words is where our algorithm really decided which is the most accurate one. Usually my customers need exactly that, and then edit it, maybe correct it if necessary, and then use it as a subtitle file, because you need the subtitles really to address a lot of people. Maybe you do subtitles by yourself. I'll invite you to create subtitles automatically with our tool, and then have the subtitle in the frame, as well as you can do automatically with our system search engine optimization, because we have the metadata which is necessary to understand what is this video about, what is the topic. In this case, it's AI, it's subtitling, it's video indexation, all this stuff. One more short introduction is we understood that implementing an API into a media company takes long. The IT has to do a project. It's long life cycles, long selling cycles. And we understood, okay, we need a faster way to make it possible that people use speech to text. And one possibility is a Slack bot. In the background is our system, but for a Slack, everybody's using that. You don't have to ask the IT. You just book it, drag and drop the file into the field like that one, and then the system is creating all the subtitles and transcript.
Oh, that's actually really nice. Like you created an Aiconix bot and just program it in such a way that you can upload an audio file and it will convert you into text.
Yes, and you can immediately use it. So I want to invite you. This is we are in a open beta, I would say. If you go to slackbot.aiconix.cloud, if you go to slackbot.aiconix.cloud, you can go here, have an account, and immediately sign in. Add the bot to your Slack channel, and then drag and drop. It's really easy. It's
but it's audio. Is it audio or video? Also, yeah, audio or video files can be converted. Okay.
It's both audio and video. If you upload the video, we extract the audio, we make it, normalize it for the different providers, and give back always the best quality.
I think I will give definitely a try, because in Zoom we have directly, it has automatically converts the video into transcript, but there are a lot of grammatical issues because the algorithm doesn't work so great in Zoom, the video calling tool which we are using right now. So I'll give it a try. Let me see how much accuracy it does have, because getting that accuracy is something really challenging, if I ask you, right? Because even Google is trying to make sure that their AI identifies the language and converts into the language of the people who you're communicating with. So I don't know how you have made it sure, but it's really interesting, and definitely I will be taking a look into that.
Yes, please give me feedback on all your viewers. Slackbot.aiconix.cloud. Try it out. Get a subscription. It's 120 minutes free, and then add it to your Slack workspace. Try it out. Give us feedback, because only if we're a startup, we need that feedback and that recommendations. What else can we do? We know that you access the little perfect, but yeah, English, German, Russian, Spanish, and French, different language in Slack. So, and we're adding it if you have a lot of
so just I think is there like anything you want to show me apart from yes, please.
No, I'm fine. It's just an idea about what we can do with AI.
Exactly.
I want to introduce my audience and say, well, AI is available. We have a smart way to use it. It's an easy way. If there's a new provider on the platform, you don't have to do a new API key. You just switch in the platform. So we want to be the one-stop shop for AI. And the use cases are several. You can screen social media channels. You can get subtitles. You don't have to type who is in the picture, do face recognition. And for most of the media companies, AI is far away. We want to bring it closer to them and have an easy, smart solution. And I think our engine is one of these.
So Eugen, so let's talk in depth about Aiconix.ai. So since we spoke about the majority part of AI into this technology, and considering the media part, as well as there are a lot of use case scenarios considering the platform. So my first question is, how challenging is AI, artificial intelligence, when you're working with such a technology, such an advanced technology? How challenging is it for you?
It's very challenging to receive the data for the models. This
Yeah.
is the most challenging part. For example, in Europe, we're very strict about data privacy. I
Yes.
don't know
Yes.
how it is in other parts of the world, but Europe is very strict about that. And if you want to, for example, I was looking for 1 million photos of faces to do our own face recognition model, what
Yeah.
we did. And
Yeah.
it was very challenging to receive the content because of the legal surrounding. That is very challenging. But the tools are there, and my data scientists are very, very clever to program this machine learning algorithms to do this face detection. For example, this is one part that we did in a different way, that we put an ID on every face to find it later in the archive. We did our own shot detection, because for me as a filmmaker, it's very important to know that this is a close-up.
Yes.
I want to search for close-ups. We did a fashion recognition, where we are looking for sunglasses, hats, because for a customer it's very important to find a certain person with a jacket or with a handbag,
Yeah.
things like that. And the next step that we go now, this is all what is happening in the content. And the next step is that we are going and still working on it, is combining the content and the analytics data to understand what works and to predict if maybe 20% of the audience already have turned off because I speak too much instead of showcasing. These are all patterns that we can measure, and that is what we're working on. That's really challenging because it's a very new field, and we also measure EG data from the lab to understand when people get bored or when the attention is going down, to predict and understand what is a good story and what is not. Because you and me, we all want to have entertain the people out there, the audience, and give them something from the video that they can learn and want to know how to engage them, how to keep them engaged the whole video.
Okay, so this is a really good this is a really good opportunity, or this is a really good platform to understand like how much strong your video content is for your audiences whom you're distributing it. And based on that, we can understand what part we have to make changes, or what specific part I have to focus more. So this is basically a place wherein I can see my performance of my video. Is it working quite well? Is the engagement quite well? Or what other needed measures I should take to improve my video quality?
Yes, and we're focusing there on editorial content where you really can change the scenes. I think with news, it's different because it's about the news itself. Talk shows like this, difficult too, because we're talking heads, like so we can just change the topics and move it to the front or the back, but the effort will not be that strong. We're focusing on short editorial videos, less than 10 minutes. Because all the pieces that we can put together to make it successful, we can handle these less than 10 minutes. We're not about to make motion pictures more successful because they have more time. They can do screenings, go back in an edit room, change it. We're focusing on those who have to do 3 videos a day and have really work under time pressure. They need support, and AI is really the tool that can help to make this better workflow and also more successful.
Yes. So considering that the challenges like we spoke about already in artificial intelligence, at the same time there is there might be a lot more challenges in the technological aspect as well, because I see that there are like a lot of service providers and a lot of API integrations coming in. So how challenging is this product to develop, and what are the other challenges do you face? What are the most biggest challenge when you're working on a product like this? Important challenge.
Especially here in Hamburg, in Germany, the most challenging is to find the right stuff. Because Hamburg is a media city. We have the headquarters, the German headquarters of Google, Facebook, Twitter. The Adobe has a development team here. So everybody who can code has a job.
Yes.
And so it's really difficult to find people. But also we are offering a lot what big multinationals cannot offer. We are a startup, we're flexible, we're agile, we build something from scratch, which
Yes.
is also interesting for developers. And that's how we are attractive for developers. The next second thing is that funding is really difficult in Germany. We don't have this funding culture, this high risk funding, because as everybody knows, startup, and only 10% of the startups survive the first year, and only 10% of the startups survive the second year.
Yeah.
So we are already 2 years old. So, but
Yes.
even then, the risk is very high to lose all the money because of something that happened. Yeah? So it's very challenging to find people who are really to have the ability, have the budget to invest into startups with this high risk.
Yeah.
If I talk to Americans or British people or Indians, the funding volume is much higher there than it is here.
Yeah.
But we want to play on the international market. But the other guys in the market have better budget. So this is really challenging. This is something we face, but we are not doing bad, I would say. It's always every month a challenge. It's every month a challenge to find the customers.
Yeah.
Sales is also mainly on my shoulders, and now I have a colleague who is supporting me. But that was in the past year really challenging. Of course, all of the week I was talking to customers. At the weekend I do admin stuff, and that was challenging. But if you love something, what you do, you can do it.
Yes, exactly. That's a very valid point you have said, because I think based on what you have pursued from the many years as a filmmaker, as a producer, you wanted something which you saw in the real life and you wanted to solve it. And here you already productized it and you have created a beta version. So what stage is it right now as Aiconix stands right now?
Our platform is online since a year. We have paying customers. The next product, the advice service, which brings together different media types, is also in online since September. We have one paying customer for that. Next step is that we care for videos to really understand what is the topic. I think we have a prototype for that in summer. We can predict where the best play out for mid-roll will be, which might be interesting for advertisers to understand the content and tell them, hey, the best situation to play out a mid-roll is at second 50, not at second 30, where it's in the middle of a scene, middle of the speech. Played out at second 50, you will lose less audience. That's very challenging, but has a high effort for advertisers really reach the audience. And then hope this year we have the first prototype for the prediction of user behavior.
Okay, so so there are a lot of milestones you have to achieve for this year, right?
Yes, well, the biggest milestone is signing the next funding. That's
for sure. So talking about funding. So how do you select your investors? Because usually people look for, even these days startup actually measure their, they take this decision very carefully because they want to partner or if they want to work with an investor, they just make sure that the person is right or not. So how do you choose your investors?
Yeah, honestly, in the beginning, we didn't have an idea. We went to like the Web Summit where we met also and just spoke to everybody we have been able to talk to. And we had to learn a lot. For example, in the beginning, I was looking for 500,000 euros and I met an American investor and Nick, a guy from New York. And I remember him, he was laughing, telling me, oh, don't be ridiculous, go to your mommy. So not much money for him. Yeah? So the challenge with investors is, first of all, we have to find investors that invest in media industry. We have to find investors that do B2B. Our stage is important. The amount of money we need for the next round is important. And then to see how can we raise the volume. Some investors only invest if you have a monthly recurring revenue of 30,000, others ask more. So from the outside, sometimes it's difficult to understand if we are at the right stage and we have to talk to a lot. It's disappointing, but a lot of them don't even answer, which is difficult because we don't know why. If I would say in our stage, we're a little bit too early for the real VCs where you're talking only to analysts. What we are looking and think the best investor would be a company who can not only support us with budget, but also using our product. So a media company or a content management system, a software company for media asset management systems, because they can, once they can support us with money, but they can also give us the contract to get metadata and deliver metadata out and help us to scale with their experience. That's what we are now focusing, but also that is the bridge that we are already that we're looking now. But we know in 1 to 12 to 18 months we need the next round, and then of course we have the KPIs and we need to scale, and then I'm sure we have to talk to VCs, which is a little bit more complicated because they are broad. They are you talk to analysts and not to the owner.
Yes. So, for Aiconix.ai, I think it needs to be like, so you have a particular target audiences, like we mentioned, we already discussed, like, because when I was searching for Aiconix.ai, it was not in a localized language. So what are the plans? Like you said, you have a plan of expanding across the world right now. So considering that stage right now, how did you how did you create your marketing strategy for this 2020, or what are the next plans for your milestones ahead, like for this 2020?
We have three different branches. We have the API where we really deliver a lot of data, where we earn more money, and this is the B2B sales. It's mainly on conferences. It's mainly to find the right person to talk to, the decider, the CEOs who understand. They are looking already for solutions. They're looking for smart solutions, and find this person, talk to them. And this happens mainly on exhibitions and conferences or at the web summit. And that's the first part. But the cycle until you make a deal takes very long. The second part is that we're talking to editorial rooms, the newsrooms, where they can immediately use the front end I showed you and create the data. This is more a marketing way, because uploading a video and earning 20 cents a minute, you can't live from that. But it's important,
Yes.
And the third part is the B2B, also because B2B2C a little bit. It's the Slack bot I showed you, because this is scalable. When we're in the store, we can roll out worldwide. And from that perspective, it's very important, not on budget-wise, but it's important on how many people can you reach. And if we see we have 3 customers maybe in Russia, because we have Russian, Brazil, North America, these are the signs investors like, and then we can focus on these markets also with our B2B product. So the Slackbot is a clever way, and we of course don't finish with, we don't stay with Slack. We also will develop a bot for Microsoft Teams. We want to go into the edit suits that you can do your speech to text out of the edit suite or your face recognition, whatever you like. Avid is a topic. So this apps into the software. These are the pieces that are very important to understand where are the markets where we should go.
Okay. So, so I think at this stage, Aiconix.ai is like looking a big year ahead for this 2020. And I think there are a lot of opportunities for video content marketing companies or video digital marketing agencies also, like you said, conventions, exhibitions or conferences. They have more advantage of it. So what are the customer acquisition strategy you are going to work with, and what are the marketing channels you're going to target for this year?
The challenges from customer side is that we always have the IT in between, and that's a little bit the gatekeeper. Because they have hundreds of projects, and then there's an additional project coming. They have to implement our data because we just deliver it to the house door. Then here it is. Then they have to take care. So the IT project is not a big one, but it's a project, and
Yeah.
this is a challenge to reach the CTLs.
Yeah.
The strategy for reaching the Slack bots, the end customer, is we are going through digital ways, online marketing, LinkedIn, Facebook. We have to look where our audience is. Even in the international market, we do it with conferences, one-to-one
Yes.
relationship, but we are also looking for partners who implement our solution into different markets. We need an implementation partner. We have here in Germany one who is in the media industry, it's in the television industry, to implement our solution into media houses. And we're also looking for partners doing that on other areas and other continents, because we're just a puzzle piece in the back. If everybody's looking for AI, everybody's looking for data, we can be in the background delivering the data, and these companies can say, well, we have AI in our system, and this is very important.
Okay, that's great. So Eugen, just one question more, like does Aiconix.ai, the tool, help you to generate a metric system based on like the reports of the video, each videos, like how much percentage of views you can expect, or how much percentage of changes are to be made in a metric form, or is there any plans to develop such kind of report like YouTube has a YouTube media analytics, wherein you can see that from which regions people are viewing your videos, and also like how many likes from where, like what are the things, who are the target audience who is watching your video right now. So all those metrics, is it included in this tool, or is there any plans to include such kind of metrics?
Depending on who is the customer, we need the analytics data from the customer. So if you ask us, can you tell me why some videos perform and some do not?
Yeah.
Then I need your analytics data to understand when people turned off, and do the semantics on what did we talk about when people turned off.
Okay.
Or we can also measure in the past why maybe this video is clicked very well in 3 weeks, but it was not clicked 2 weeks ago, because we listened to the social buzz. But these are already tools that are existing. Yeah, so we use them, and then we go into the video. It's not about the clicks, not about the whole, how many people watched it. We really want to be inside and on every second to understand what is the content, what is about. So to answer your question, the meta from a customer, we don't have our own metrics. Some of the analytics are from other companies that already measure a lot, the social buzz, to understand what I'm talking about is maybe today interesting for the audience, but it wasn't in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And inside the video, that is where we measure. And then we also go to the lab and measure with audience, with target audience in the lab, the EG data, where you really can see when the attention is going down. Maybe now, because we are already nearly at the end, people's attention is going down, and this is a learning maybe how we can engage them again. Maybe it is interesting for them to wake them up, and because you give a goodie away, something, or click now, then you receive a free account or something like that. Yeah. So this is something we do to understand the audience, and we receive data, analytics data, and so from everywhere around.
Okay, great. So just a quick question, and then we'll be definitely winding up. So one quick question. Imagine if I am an online course provider and my company name is xyzcourse.com, and I have a list of videos inside this website on particular topic, data science. Okay, now that's my tag. So for me, how can I interest Aiconix.ai to use in my online courses? Does it benefit me very well, or is there any opportunities to use this tool to benefit, to improve my video quality?
Yes. First of all, we have to get all the metadata of your existing content to understand what you own. Then we can see what topics are clicked very well, and maybe understand why they are clicked very well, because we listen to the social media and see what topics is interesting. And if we measure that in the past, we can tell you maybe Aiconix is a very interesting video today because people are talking about AI and media, and you can place it on your front page instead of lower it down. Then we can automatically create audio and video SEO, search engine optimization. You don't have to think about which are the topics that are right into the metadata. We can do it automatically. And the next step also say, okay, what are the topics that are interested in India today, and have different SEO data maybe for Europe, because there are not other topics, but they are both implemented in the video, so we can target really different markets. And of course, subtitle is very important, because a lot of people watch on Facebook when you do a short clip about that video, they watch without sound. You need subtitles, we automatically can create those. So a lot of use cases we can support.
Okay, that's amazing. So I just wanted to understand with an example. So that was really great. So how many people are working in Aiconix.ai right now?
We are about 9. Small team, very agile.
You can't call a 9 people team as a small team. It's a big team. It's good.
And we are scaling. So if you're out there and you're maybe around here and you want to work in the startup, go to our webpage, Aiconix.ai.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Eugen Gross, who the founder of Aiconix.ai, talking about his startup. He has given us a very wonderful pitch. He has given a very wonderful example of use cases, scenarios of how media contents can be, how the data from the media contents can be used to improve your video performance, or understand what tags and metadata, and understand how it can be useful, and understand your target audiences, and by using his platform and using AI. So that was the founder himself sharing his experience about his startup. And like I always mention to every founders, this is a show wherein we talk actually a lot, but because of time restrictions, we have to end the show right now, but doesn't mean that we are not going to have the conversation. We'll be having the part 2, part 3 with Eugen in the coming episodes, on talking about how did they get their customers first, how did they get their first 100 to 1,000 customers, because after next 6 months, they might be in a very different stage, and they might be in a very different level where they would have raised a lot of fund. So at that point of time, I'll be coming up with other series, asking him about his challenges, what he had, and what are the challenges he's facing right now. So thank you, Eugen, for being part of this show, sharing your wonderful experience with us on this in this podcasting series. So I'll be looking forward to hear more stories from you in coming months about Aiconix.ai. So I'll be happy to be also hosting a part 2 and part 3 video podcasting series with you.
Thank you, Varun, for the invitation, and to all out there, follow your passion.
Definitely follow your passion. Thank you so much. I'll definitely do that, and it's for everyone. So I will leave every information to Aiconix.ai, including Eugen's LinkedIn URL as well. So you can reach out to him. You can ask him anything related to media content, anything related to Aiconix.ai, how it is useful, as well as I will include the Slack bot for converting your speech to text transcription in the descriptions below in the video, such that it will be useful for you to convert your speech to text as well. So that was a really quick hack which he has given for us to convert the video into text. Thank you so much. And this is the Startup Show, and my name is Varun Nair. We'll see you next time with yet another founder and a new story.